All right, Kurt, I think we are going live. And first of all, Assalamu alaikum to everyone in Pakistan, and good evening and good afternoon, Kurt. I hope you're doing well, and I'm sure the weather has also started, being favorable right now. Before I actually start, let me give you a little bit background and a warm welcome to this platform on behalf of Pakistan and Extreme Commerce. Extreme Commerce is founded by our very well-known and very dear mentor, Sunny Ali. He founded Extreme Commerce, a few years back, and then he started off guiding and leading this revolution of empowering the youth of Pakistan and bringing them into e-commerce ecosystem. He has revolutionized the whole ecosystem here in Pakistan, and you would be surprised that Pakistan happens to be the fourth largest freelance market in the world. We have within this platform, we have over 500,000 people who are actively engaged, and they are being given the valuable knowledge on how excel on e-commerce, specifically Amazon, Pizza, or other famous platforms. So this whole revolution is being led by him, and we were thinking that now it's time that we bring our own friends whom we are already working with, like you, for example. So we learn from you, your expertise, and the great work that you're doing differently in terms of dominating Amazon page with regards to editor on-site traffic and off-site traffic. So thank you very much for coming over. Over to you, Mr. Kurt.
Thank you, Maksud. Thanks for having me. So my name's Kurt Hamrickhouser. I'm the account executive here at Seller Rocket, leading up the sales for our organization. My career, I started in energy. That was my first position that I got, and then I moved into healthcare, learning SaaS, selling software for healthcare offices. And then now I'm in PR, so helping e-commerce sellers to sell more, getting them the type of exposure that it's going to benefit the brand. Seller Rocket as a whole, we're at the intersection of media, tech, and e-commerce. We provide a really easy access to the affiliates and other publishers that are creating content specifically for e-commerce sellers. It helps to sell more products. There's a lot of different ways that's evolving and changing, especially with the last 2 years of how e-commerce has grown. A lot of the publishers, if they weren't already creating affiliate content before, they are now, or they have it on their roadmap and they want to, publishing's kind of changing a lot. It used to be print magazines, and now it's moving to being online. And so they're also reshuffling as like, how do they make money? They're usually a small team. It's really hard to get in touch with them if you want your products to be featured. And then, them finding time to actually review the products is a whole other problem that they face. So we help to kind of ease that transition from, passing the information from the sellers to the publishers, and then helping the publishers to actually, create that content in a way that it actually works on Amazon and on Google as well. We help them with that as well.
Excellent. So you want me to put up your slides up there?
Yeah. All right. So Seller Rocket, this is our logo. So we're currently working with, this needs updated. We're at 10,000 SKUs under contract. We've been working in this industry for 10 years. The rest of the team has. And last year we drove 50 million in gross merchandise value. We're growing very fast. We're in like a hyper growth stage right now. And so what we do is place you on different affiliate sites. We'll also place you in the editorial recommendations. Everything that we do is up to the publisher, and whether it matches up to content that they already have planned to create, for either for their site or for the editorial recommendations. And if it matches up, then they'll feature you in their content. Some of these publishers, they'll be pushing their content out through paid search channels. They might even be working through social channels. Like you can see Good Housekeeping is promoting this listing through Instagram. They could also be sending out through newsletters, emails, could do push notifications and widgets. Each publisher does things differently, and not all of them. Some of these publishers are a lot better at e-commerce than others. I'm sure everyone's familiar with BuzzFeed. It's like it's like turning on a faucet for your sales. So, and BuzzFeed in particular is really good at e-commerce. Some of these other publishers like Buyer's Guide, they're pretty good as well. And we'll see a bunch as we look through.
And Amazon has also given an authentication saying that, okay, these BuzzFeeds and other are authority websites for them, and they have a list of it.
Yeah. So there's regular Amazon affiliates, and then there's the affiliates that are in the on-site publishing program. And the on-site publishing program is an invite-only program. They're affiliates who've done a certain amount of revenue to be invited in. And when they're invited into the program, that allows them to produce content for the editorial recommendations section, where is it? Here's the editorial recommendations. So this content lives specifically on Amazon. It's not shared anywhere else. It surfaces only on the first page of the search results. It builds your bestseller ranking and also helps to maximize your paid ad conversions.
So if someone is running an ad, obviously, so you have this special real estate within Amazon first page, and that too with no sponsored link, anything else. So it has got more weight in terms of the trust and the consumer confidence, I would say.
Yeah, it does. I'm actually going to switch over to a search result. I search for vacuum, and I always get the same editorial recommendation when I search for vacuum. It changed recently, but it's pretty consistent in which one it shows. So this is the one that just recently updated. This was produced on April 21st. So really recently, this one went live. The one that I normally see has a shark, a Bissell, and a Eureka in it. There was another one that has an iRobot vacuum in it, but these rotate on the search page. So there's multiple that get shown to different customers, and that's based on their search and purchase history, their location, time of day, IP address, what's in stock at the nearest fulfillment center. It all has an effect on which editorial is shown to you, and there could be multiple that rotate on a single search page. But yeah, this is the one that I get for vacuum, and these convert best when the item is repeated on the screen. And I actually don't see these anywhere here on the search page, at least at the top part. So I don't know how well this one is going to convert or how long it'll stay on the search page. Let's see if any of these are below.
But the products, the expensive products, if there is a editorial recommendation, obviously the buyer would be prompted to read through and see what is editorial recommendation. So I believe the conversion should be relatively better than what you can see from sponsored ads.
Yeah, it can be, but that's if we can get this editorial to show on the screen. And so these are first based on SEO. So the title of the article is what dictates where it tries to be shown. But then once the algorithm decides this is where it should be shown, if there's an existing editorial on that search page, then the new editorial is going to be A/B tested against it to see which one converts better. And the better converting article is going to stay on the search page. So this one right now might be being A/B tested against the other articles that I've seen, which the other articles had the vacuums that were featured were also on the search page, like in very close proximity. Like the Bissell was right here, and then in the third position. So the more they're repeated on the screen, the better the editorial converts, the better your ads convert, the better your organic placement converts. And so when we're talking with a brand, we ask for the search terms that you're on the first page for organically. And the reason why we do that is because the editorial will convert better with your product being repeated, and by getting it to convert better, that'll get the editorial to show more often. If you got a new editorial and you've searched the keyword that we entered for the title of the article, and you got your editorial to show up, make sure that you purchase your product through the editorial, because that'll tell the algorithm that the editorial is converting, and that'll cause it to show more often on the screen.
And that sticks. Yeah.
That's really the hardest part of all of this, is just getting the editorial to show on the screen. Once we can get it to show, then we just need to maximize your ad coverage, and the more times we can repeat you on the screen, the better your conversions are going to be, the bigger lift you're going to see.
So when you are curating this editorial recommendation article, so you seed your keywords or search term in a very natural way, isn't it?
Yeah, we want it to be where you are organically. We can't put you onto a keyword that you're not there organically. This editorial, it's showing now, but these vacuums, I don't see them anywhere else on the search page. So I don't think that it's going to convert that well. Yeah, those product, not a single one of those products are here on the search page. So I don't expect this to be up for very long. It's being shown today. It might have been shown yesterday. It might not be shown next week. And I see when a client's editorials go live, sometimes initially they'll get several sales, and then it'll take a couple days off, and then it'll pop back on again, and it'll start getting more sales. And then usually for the first 3 months, that kind of builds. So it's shown for a short window of time, that takes some time off, then it's shown for a little bit bigger window of time, takes a little bit less time off. For the first 3 months until month 3, that's usually when we see articles, stabilizing on the search terms that they're being shown on, and they become consistent. So you can then concentrate your ad spend on those search terms. But if you get the algorithm to realize that your editorial is converting, it could be even faster than 3 months.
Excellent. I think some people might have some ways to get this task done.
Yeah. Search, find, buy. Okay. So now say you sell a high chair. The baby category is really competitive, very popular, a lot of money in this category. So say high chair is the keyword that you want to go to. You want to be on this keyword. It's the highest volume keyword, but there could be other variations of that keyword that are more specific to your product. So I just wanted to show you guys that these are all editorials for high chair, just all different variations. So best wooden high chair, best hook on high chair, or just best high chair. Depending on your product, we would want to go for a very specific high volume search term. And if we can't get on best high chair right off the bat, we would want to start with more of a mid to long tail keyword it's more specific to your product. And then once you're being featured in these editorials, your organic ranking is going to improve. And especially if we're concentrating your ad spend on search terms, your metrics are going to improve quite a bit. So if we can't get onto best high chair initially, we'll work our way there. It's always going to be a work in progress. Because when we request an editorial, if we go for best high chair, it could end up on best hook on high chairs. Because they're based on SEO. So best high chair is going to put it on these search pages. But then if it doesn't convert better than the existing editorial, it'll find the next best one to go to. Maybe it's a wooden high chair that we're selling. And so it'll end up being shown on this search page if it converts best. And then these publishers, so this one's by Mom Loves Best. Some of these publishers also syndicate this content for on their own site. So this isn't exactly the same article. Sometimes I will find the exact same article, but it does have a lot of the same products. So the best wooden high chair is an Abbey Beyond. This one, the Abbey Beyond, and then the Graco Blossom 6-in-1. So it's in the second position on this one. There's probably the exact same article on their website that it fits the same products, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I would just have to search for it. But a lot of times they will create the same content for their own website. And all of these are just an affiliate link for the publisher. So whether you're purchasing through here or whether you're purchasing through here, they both take you. This one isn't going to Amazon.
So this is like off and on Amazon, and this gives you extra juice.
Yeah. So this one in particular is directed to Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's see where this one's going. This one goes to Amazon. So if they're sending traffic to Amazon, Amazon's going to give them a receipt that says, hey, these are all of the transactions that we're giving you credit for. So with a lot of different affiliate placements, you're going to pay a monthly fee to be a part of the affiliate program, like Impact or Share a Sale, or I don't know, what are some of the other? There's other, sorry, I'm bringing up my example. Okay, so the publishers get a receipt for all of the transactions that they're getting credit for. So they share this report with us. So we get the ASIN, the ship date down to the minute, the number of items shipped, and the total sale price. So we know exactly what this placement is doing for you. And since Amazon is deciding the attribution here, there's not a risk of us counting a paid ad sale as one of our sales. Where with like Impact or Share a Sale, I think because it's a cookie and it's Impact or Share a Sale that's deciding the attribution, they could claim one of the sales that goes through the paid ad, but it's not a risk with us. And as you can see here, this item got returned. So the way that we do our billing, it's already taken off by the time we invoice you. So you don't have to worry about returns, and it's by the sale price. So if you're running any discounts on your items, it's not affecting your conversion rate.
So Amazon provides all of this data to the publisher, and then publisher sends to you. Is this the flow?
Yeah, so we'll provide it to you in our dashboard. You'll be able to log in every day, see all the transactions for the previous day, and then match up to your own internal records. We're currently working with sometimes I get questions about the attribution data, like why doesn't it have the order ID? Unfortunately, that's not given to the publishers by Amazon. Amazon likes to kind of hides half of the data, so they don't share the order ID with the publishers, and so we don't get that information. But we have about 500 clients currently, and they're all using this data to verify their sales. So big and small sellers. We work with some very big sellers, and so it's all where was I? It's all an affiliate commission for them, whether it goes through this type of placement or whether it's through the editorial recommendation through here. So we get the receipt. We know exactly what it's going for.
Kurt, with your experience, how effective is this editorial recommendation? And as you said, you have got really big clients. So what's their drive? I just want to hear from your side, and what's the main motivating factor for them?
Yeah. So The return that you want me to talk about, the return that
Yeah,
everyone sees.
yeah, the ROI and
So
everything.
yeah, we don't want to promise the moon to people. We want to keep our estimates as conservative as possible. With that said, I've talked to sellers who say this like 2 or 3x their sales overall. I'm not going to promise that to everyone because it's not everyone gets the same results, but the results are very good. Through what we can measure through the editorial, if you're doing 100 sales per month organically, you should do another 10 sales through the editorial. And then by having the editorial and your organic placement on the screen, you'll see a lift of 25% through your organic sales. And if you have the paid ads on the screen as well, you'll see another 25% lift through those. So conservatively, we tell our clients that they'll see a 30% lift in their sales, an overall lift. We're only attributing to sales that go through the editorial. So in order for us to get credit for the sale, the customer has to click on the product from this editorial bar, add the item to their cart from this page, and then complete the purchase within 24 hours. If they were to deviate from this and go back and end up clicking on your paid ad, it's not going to count towards the editorial. And I think this actually is what happens quite a bit because this is just inviting to do research. There's a review, there's a little bit more words about it. And the words are not coming from, Abby Beyond Wooden High Chair. It's coming from new folks and their editorial recommendation for which high chair to choose. Now, we've done heat mapping and only about 10% of customers click in to view the full article and see actually what it says, read the words, see more than the top 3 items. And I'm not sure that they even read the words. Each publisher does this differently, and I've seen some publishers that they have to be writing this with a computer. Like it just looks like AI written content. And I've had different clients get upset because it doesn't word things perfectly. It doesn't look correct. And they're worried that they're going to get in trouble because it's incorrect information about their product. Nobody should worry about that. Nobody reads these articles. As crazy as that sounds, nobody actually reads what they say.
So
all the shopping.
Look at the first page, what's been shown by Amazon as in top pick, best quality, all those subcategorizations that they have done.
Yeah, the decision is made within seconds. They just click the first one, read what's inside of it. If they're not satisfied and they want to do a little bit more shopping around, they go back and then they click on the other one. They don't actually read what's in the article. So really just the visual aspect and getting on the screen is...
Yeah, so that means at the back end, this article is doing its magic in terms of ranking you on the keywords that you have already seeded inside it.
Yeah.
And usually the high traffic or high search volume and relevant keyword is put in the title of your article, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll ask you for up to 8 keywords per ASIN. The first keyword that we ask for is going to go towards the title. The rest of them, we're just going to scrape for to see actually where it lands. Because if we were going for best high chair, maybe we ended up on best wooden high chairs or best hook on high chair. It could land on any one of those if we were going for best high chair. So we'll just put all those keywords into our scraper. So in case it doesn't land on best high chair, where else could it have gone? So when we find it, then we can advise you, this is where you should concentrate your ad spend. And then you'll get this huge spike in your graph by having efficiencies with your paid ads. Paid ad efficiency actually tends to go down to below 10% when we have the editorial on the screen and your paid ads running. And usually you only see those types of numbers on your branded search page. So if Chico is your brand name on the Chico, if you search Chico high chair, then on those search terms are really the only ones where you can commonly get below 10%. But by having the editorial, you can get there.
I have also seen some sellers doing some special coupons when their editorial is up and running.
Yeah, that's another way. So if you're running coupons or discounts, Amazon will show your product more often. And so it raises all of your boats. So if you're in an editorial and you start running coupons or discounts, it will cause your editorial to be shown more often, which the more often it gets shown, the better it's going to convert. And so it'll keep your editorial on the screen longer. So once your editorial goes live, search, find, buy, run discounts, make sure that thing shows. Getting it to show is the name of the game.
And secondly,
all this comes down to.
Yeah, absolutely. And secondly, these coupons, for example, we take an example of hook on high chairs. If you run a coupon, obviously you will be more visible in terms of the shout out on page, because you get extra band, green band, and that also adds some value towards the visibility of your product.
Yeah, absolutely. You're the expert on that part. So I always ask you for advice on how we can get them to show more often. I guess now I could show some of the other examples. So
yeah,
there's all these different publishers in here. Momtastic, Mom Loves Best. There's some more. These I've never heard of these publishers. I don't know who they are. I don't know who Mom Loves Best is, but they're pretty common in the editorial recommendations. New folks, today's the first time I've ever seen them. But there are publishers that people have heard of that are in this program. One of them is the LA Times. They have a subdomain strictly for e-commerce. Best Covery is their subdomain. And these have the same domain authority as the main LA Times. So when they're directing traffic into Amazon, it has 80 plus domain authority. And Amazon can't differentiate whether it's through the latimes.com or whether it's through their subdomain. So if we can get traffic to come to your product pages from these types of websites, it'll have a really good effect on your organic ranking. And we actually did I'm going to go to another slide really quick. We did a test on this. Here we go. So through the LA Times, just through their through the Best Covery, they did a Prime Day newsletter that said, hey, these are all the discounts that are going to be running for Prime Day. There's actually a Prime Day coming up. So this is a good opportunity here. I think it's supposed to be June or July when the next Prime Day is. Yeah. So, whenever they tell us what day it'll be, there will be a ton of newsletters going out from all the different publishers. And so we had this dog bowl featured for the last Prime Day, and the email went out to 200,000 people. The funny thing about this is it did not get a single sale attributed to the LA Times, but it got a bunch of traffic. And just from the traffic alone, coming from an 80 plus ranked domain, caused the sales to increase 11x week over week. Wow. And so this is really good for new products that you're launching, because it was on the third page organically. So at some point you're going to be on the second and third page of when you're launching a product, and you want to get to the first as fast as possible. So when we ran this external traffic, it bounced around between the second and third position on the first page for the search term that they wanted to be ranked for, stimulating dog toy. And because of that move, that's what caused the sales to increase 11x week over week. It might have went from 2 sales to 22 sales. That would be simple math. That's probably what it was, but it might have been more. But
yes,
so
the offsite traffic has its own magic.
Yeah. And Amazon is shifting to be more reliant on external traffic as a validator, because these publishers, they're not going to create content that doesn't align with their audience. They're not going to post a bunch of crap products that they don't really believe in. They're just trying to get, they are just trying to get money out of them, but they might actually believe in the products if they're posting them on their website. So by getting this alignment, the publishers are going to verify all the products, which ones are good and bad, by having them featured on their website and funneling traffic back into Amazon, that's going to be Amazon's queue rather than just ads to move them up higher on the search page. And so these types of placements are good for products that can't get coverage on Amazon specifically. This one, protein powders, they did have a really hard time previously until about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. They started allowing different supplements to have editorials on Amazon. So supplements, adult themed products, religious, what else? Adult, religious, drug themed, just all different types of products that are all not allowed for promotion on Amazon. We can promote through external channels. So we work with the LA Times Bestcovery. We also work with Best Reviews. I really like their content because this is how I shop. I like to see all the products laid out next to each other, pros and cons of each. Usually on Best Reviews in particular, the products that they put up here are the products that they already have planned. They already know they sell really well. And usually when we are introducing a product to Best Reviews, they'll put them down here at the bottom where it says other products we considered. And it sounds terrible that it's down at the bottom and it's other products we considered, but Best Reviews get so much traffic to their website. They get 10 million site visitors every month. So even down here, if we can get you featured, you're going to get some transactions. And just like with the product that we had featured in the LA Times, all we're looking for is just a couple transactions or at least traffic to signal to Amazon that your product is important. Some big publisher's talking about it, raise it up on the search page.
Excellent.
And we also work with CNN Underscored. And this is another example that I can give for these publishers are getting better at e-commerce. Just last month, this publisher 4x their revenue with us for products that we had featured through the CNN Underscored subdomain. So whatever they did, they started like sponsoring their articles or just doing something to make them rank better and getting their, the link to their editorial posted on Google. So it caused a 4x in their revenue that they were driving through this. So CNN Underscored in particular, they do more of an listicle format. I think it's kind of like a BuzzFeed article where they're saying, hey, I went camping this weekend and it was so great. I stayed so dry because of this tent that I got. And then they have an affiliate link to wherever you can buy the tent.
And this is all written by humans, not AI.
I don't know. It might be. I have no idea. No idea. This type of content, if it lives on their website, I would assume that people are actually going to read it, especially if it's in an listicle format. If it's in this type of format, they might be able to get away with, this part at least being written however they want to write it. If they're not being written by AI, I think some of them, they might even subcontract it out. So the quality can vary in what they write. But even if they were writing about supplements, that's a topic that can get. I have sellers that they're like, hold on, we sell supplements. Do you know how we need to be represented? You can't mention these things. There's all these different stipulations for supplements that, we have to stay away from a health claim. And so these publishers know that they're producing this content for other supplement providers, even for the on Amazon, the editorial recommendations. They all know, they know the restrictions. They know they shouldn't be producing health claims. And all of these editorials have to go through Amazon moderation if they live on the search page like this. So the process is that I'll talk with the brand. We'll collect different keyword information and know which pages you're on the first page for. We'll send that off to the publishers and they'll do the writing portion of this process. That part with the publishers takes about 2 weeks, and then they send it off to Amazon for moderation. And then Amazon moderates the article, makes sure that it passes, it's up to spec, that it's not making any health claims, that there's no funky products included in there. And then once they give it the thumbs up, it gets published to the search page and begins the indexing process.
Mm-hmm.
So end to end, the process is taking about 4 weeks right now. The process, it can vary. So if you talk to me in 2 weeks, it might be 5 weeks. It might be 6 weeks. Just 2 weeks ago, or maybe about 3 weeks ago now, it was 6 to 8 weeks for these editorials to go live. And then all of a sudden they just started coming through a lot faster. So it changes over time. It's dynamic. We were watching Amazon's hiring activities, and they hired a whole bunch of people for the moderation department around the first of the year. So hopefully I think that's what sped things up, is they got more employees in the department.
Excellent. Yeah, I think it's quite painful to wait for 6-8 weeks for your article to get published. But if it is shortened, then obviously this will motivate many sellers to step up and offer the service.
Yeah, and once you're in these editorials, we'll keep you in the editorial for as long as you work with us. They typically stay up for 3 to 6 months. And then at the 3 to 6 month mark, the publishers usually swap out the products that they have featured. They might change the title of the article. They might change the wording of the article. They make some sort of refresh to make it more relevant, because the more recent the article is, the more priority that Amazon's going to give to the article.
Yeah. And for how long this article stays within Amazon?
It'll stay up for as long as it's converting. And if it ever stops converting, like if we go back to the vacuum cleaners, like this one, this new article that just got introduced, I don't think it's going to convert that well, and it's probably going to drop off here soon. So it might go back to the old article that was showing, or maybe it will stay dominant for a while. Whenever it stops converting and just stops being shown as often, then we will request a new article. So either we'll refresh of this current article or put you in a new article. No matter what, we're going to make sure that you're being, you're being covered by editorials, and it should be on all the search terms that you're on the first page for organically. And that might be a process. We'd start with vacuum, and then we want to get on vacuum for high pile carpet or low pile carpet, or for pets, or just all the different variations of vacuum is where we want to go. It might be a process to get on all of those, but once we're working with your ASIN, any articles that you need are included in your service.
Excellent. So with on Amazon and off Amazon, and so what's your advice on where to start from? I mean, or should we engage both channels together, like on Amazon editorial recommendation and off Amazon the PR drive that you talk about?
So I would say the editorial recommendations, there's certain metrics that you have to hit. So we need at least 4 stars, at least 100 reviews, and then the bestseller ranking for the subcategory needs to be in the top 20%. As long as the BSR for the subcategory is in the top 20% and the review count is good, you're over 4 stars, we can put you into the editorials. But if you're not ready for that yet, then I would say starting with external traffic will accelerate your ramp to being eligible for the editorials.
Okay.
And then if you're eligible for both, then run both, because the external traffic is how Amazon is prioritizing, rank. So the external traffic, I see sellers that bring in tens of thousands of dollars every single month through external placements. And we're adding more publishers every month we're adding more. So, and I guess I should explain how. So with the editorial recommendations on Amazon, we request one editorial, you get matched up to one publisher, and then we're done. And we let that editorial, publish, and then we'll see the results, and then we might request more from there. But with the external placements, we put you out there, we send a list to these publishers. So we put you on the list, and then we let as many publishers as are writing, if we're writing about baby chairs, as many publishers as are writing about baby chairs can pick up your product and feature it on their site. So say there's 10 publishers writing about baby chairs for the month, you could be on 10 publishers' sites and it's the same price. So no, you're not paying per placement. You're just paying to be represented.
Oh, right. So, let's see if some audience have got some questions. We can take their questions as well. So over to you guys. If you have any questions, you can post so that we can request Kurt to respond. Kurt, how about the overall the because lately what I noticed is many sellers have started opting for editorial recommendations, even within the niches I'm operating in. I remember once my editorial recommendation was published, like after 3 or 4 weeks, my competitor also came up with the same kind of editorial recommendation. Earlier, my competitor was nowhere in this space. So I think editorial, this kind of a placement is also becoming very competitive now, isn't it?
It is actually. So we work with about half of the publishers that are in the on-site publishing program. So in the case of one of your competitors getting into an editorial recommendation, they're likely working with one of the publishers that we don't work with. But let's just say that I'm talking with one seller and then I have another seller that comes in that sells like the same product. We would prioritize whoever comes first. So the first position makes 30 to 50% more than the other positions in the editorial recommendation. So you get to me first. We would suggest that you're put in the first position. And then if anyone comes behind you that's also selling the same product, we would put them in the second or whichever position that the publisher wants to put you in. We always advocate for the best positioning. We can't guarantee which position you get in, but we would say put the person who came after right behind them.
Okay.
And it's not to this point yet, but if we had it all filled up, like if we have 3 products in there, then I imagine it would come down to like auctioning off the positions. We're nowhere near this place yet. I can't even think of a single product that we have 2 people that sell the exact same product.
No, but obviously the sellers, they have different sources of getting featured to editorial recommendation. So publishers are also, there's a huge number of publishers out there in the market.
Oh yeah.
So that's why what I'm saying is my competitor, he came through someone else. So just because of that, then I could see him taking over my editorial recommendation placement because he came in and he also took over because he is a bestseller. I'm the second or third bestseller. So yeah, we have a question here. How do we know that external traffic is being resulted in conversion?
So we would know because it will be on the receipt that we get from the publishers. So they'll share the data with us every month. So I'll put it into context. So say here you wanted to get started today, I would send you off on the list to the publishers, and then that would be for May. So in May, if they decide that they're writing articles about your product category, they'll feature you in their article, and then at the beginning of June, they'll send us a report for all the transactions that they had filtered by the ASINs that were on our list. So we'll know if we had transactions for your ASIN, and that would be our proof that we had you featured. And some of the publishers like Best Reviews and CNN Underscored, they're so big that they're not slowing down to like give us the links and say, hey, that ASIN that we featured, we put it on this site, they're not sharing the links with us. So we do site searching to see if it's there. Some of the other publishers like Best Covery, they will actually share the link with us and say, this is where we're featuring your product. So it really just depends on the publisher as whether we can get the link or not. But if they had transactions, then it's on the report that we provide to you in our dashboard. You'll be able to log in every day and see transactions.
Okay. And we have one more question. Uh, is there any limitation? I think you mentioned it. Editorial recommendation can be done to every product, or there are some limitations with regards to Amazon.
So adult themed, religious, products that make health claims. For supplements specifically, like if you have some supplement that's really good for acid reflux, we cannot put the keyword as acid reflux supplement. It needs to be like vitamin B13 or whatever the vitamin is. We have to use the keyword for what it is. Like the person searching for it, we can't just put this as a supplement for headaches. That's Amazon won't accept those. We have to put it as what it is, and then people have to know that what it is treats headaches. But other than that, there's not a lot of restrictions right now, specifically with supplements easing up.
I think Frekunda is asking, can we get this recommendation for our own chosen keywords?
Yeah, we'll talk with you to find out what are those keywords that you're on the first page for, and then we'll suggest those as the title of the article. But if you're not on the first page for that keyword, it won't work. It isn't like paid ads where you can pay to be on that page and then you're on the page, and it helps you rank up to actually be on that page organically. With the editorials, it's gonna work best if you're already on that page. It'll make the whole thing convert better.
One more question: how can we track external traffic sources of our competitors?
Of competitors, there was a software that I found. Oh, what is it? Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up from my notes. Is it like Celix or something? There's some software. I think it's Celix. Sellerly, that's what it is. Sellerly. So I don't use this software. I don't know. I'm not vouching for it, whether this is good or not. But I just spoke with a seller the other day that where Traffic Insights. So it'll tell you where you're getting traffic from.
Excellent. So you can spy on your competitors.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, Saturday is famous for that. Okay, we have one question. Again, this same student. So what if our competitor is also featured with us in the same editorial recommendation?
That can happen.
That can happen because
yeah,
you need to look real, right?
Yeah, and we're not choosing all of the products that are in the editorial. We suggest your product unless we somehow have all three products, three of the same product, but we're only suggesting your product for the best positioning. So hopefully we'll get you right here in the top pick. If we don't get you in the top pick, we'll get you moved up there eventually. It might be 3 to 6 months when they refresh the article, but we'll get you there eventually. If your competitor gets placed with you, they're not getting the data and the editorial is not directed towards their keywords. And they're not going to get the data on how often that editorial is being shown on those keywords, which we will provide that data to you in our dashboard. So with those keywords that you give us, we're going to scrape for those to see how often the editorial is being shown. And then once we know how often it's being shown, then we can guide you to concentrate your ad spend to win that, make sure you win the bid.
One more question, Kurt. Okay, for example, your product got featured. I want to do a piggybacking. Can I do? How do I do it?
What do you mean piggybacking?
I mean, for example, this for example, shark got featured. Okay, now I want my product to be featured with the shark. So
Okay,
I'm
so
just
like
reversing
going
the
the opposite.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just reversing what Farkunda is asking. I'm just reversing the situation. So my competitor got featured. I want to get featured with my competitor.
Yeah, I mean, I can't control which other products that the publisher chooses, but that would be a good strategy if they rank better than you do, to just
Yeah.
wedge yourself in between them. I work with a seller who sells Nespresso refill capsules, like the little Nespresso pods, and they were in an editorial and they said 2 to 3x in their sales just overall when they were in the editorial, and then they dropped out, and then they're like, how do I get back in? So they ended up calling me, and so we're getting them back in. But yes, by being in the editorial with stronger brands, you'll tie yourself to their boat and you'll get the same sales as they do.
Absolutely. So we have to find a way for that now.
Yeah.
That's our task. Let's work on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll work on it on off the call, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to share? Like, for example, with the CNN, offsite publisher. So, do you have influence that the CNN will publish this article, or it's at the discretion of the other guys, or not
It's
at the same CNN?
it's always at the discretion of the publisher. Every time that we're putting a product somewhere, we are matching the individual product to a piece of content that they're writing. So it has to match the category, or just it has to fit into their editorial. So 20 Amazon products that we just couldn't get enough of in March. They might have articles like 20 products that are on sale this week, or 20 must-have buys for upcoming Prime Day. However they want to title their article, if it fits in there. When we do the external traffic, we'll ask the sellers if they have any discounts going on for the month. By having even 5-10% off, it causes the publishers to say, oh, that'll be an exclusive discount that we can post on our site. People will come to our site specifically to buy this because you get 5% off. Even if it's 2 to 5%, not even a big discount, it causes them to pick up the product at a higher rate. So when we are doing external traffic, we ask you for discounts. It's not a requirement, but it does help to get your product picked up.
Right. Awesome. So this was quite interesting and insightful session. I must appreciate. Can I use my? Okay, I've got these relevant questions out, but some of the questions were not relevant, so I'm not putting them here. But once again, thank you, Kurt, for your time, and I think it's always insightful, and I learn something new from you all the time.
Thank you, Maksud. Thank you for having me. Appreciate getting to speak with you.
I hope we were able to add value to the audience, and I hope they'll be utilizing this particular tool. And by the way, I have also put in the referral link that Seller Rocket has offered for all the audience here, and it's an exclusive discounts for Extreme Commerce platform. So do take a look at it, and if you want your product to be featured on editorial recommendation on site and off site, you can do that. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt, once again. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good day.